I am an introvert, no be key like a person. There was a time I genuinely thought that creating content was not for me. I wasn't built for it, or so I thought. Well, that was not because I was not creative. Neither was it because I had nothing to say. Oh boy, I had something to say. Like I was always yapping and yapping with my friends. So I can tell you for a fact that I had a lot to say. But I think it was because when I watched so many successful creators online, they looked like they had unlimited energy. They had everything going on for them. They were posting every day. They were going on lives for hours. They were attending events, networking events, occasions, parties, meeting, wine and dine, sip and paint, and all those other things every other weekend. Now, I understand that some of them have helps, they have agencies and other bodies helping them, or even content creators and social media managers, because I do that for people. But I'm saying there are genuinely someone out there that does everything by themselves. While me, on the other hand, when I shoot one content like this, I need time to recover. And then I start telling myself, maybe I'm not just built for this. One day, I realized something that completely changed my approach of creating content. If you're an introvert and you're someone who is trying to grow online without feeling the constant burden of doing everything, constantly feeling exhausted, constantly feeling overwhelmed, like me, oh, this conversation is for you. If you're an extrovert, please shift. Let's get down to it, because by the end of today's podcast episode, I am definitely sure that you will understand what an introvert truly means. Not that type that they used to tell you that, oh, I don't feel like going out, I'm an introvert. Is a lie. You and I know you are broke. You don't have money. So if you want to protect your energy and do things that would improve them rather than deplete them, stick along till the end because you enjoy this episode. So grab your popcorn. Let's get right into it. Hey lovelies, welcome back to another amazing episode of the Florrapedia Podcast, a community where we share fresh insight, new tips, honest conversations to help you grow, glow, and get things done while building one life at a time. Okay, I am your amazing, ever gorgeous host, Florabella. And on today's episode, today is simply a conversation that I would like to have with myself. And I wish someone had had this conversation with me when I started content creation for the first time. Hmm. I wish someone had told me this. Because if I'm being honest with you, I spent a long time feeling like I was doing something wrong. I spent years. When I mean years, I mean I spent over 5 years feeling like this was not meant for me because my content felt like I was trying to drain myself. So, and it wasn't because my content was bad, but because I was creating content in a way that every other person seemed to be creating theirs. I was trying to copy every other person's, personality and their whole vibe and everything. I used to watch creators who could film all day, attend events, and maybe even jump from Instagram lives to TikTok to this, respond to hundreds of comments, and still have enough energy to record another video the next day. While me, on the other hand, after recording just a single podcast episode, I just want silence. Please, I just want to sleep. I just want to rest. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be on my own, low key. Not because I hated people. No, don't get me wrong. I do not hate people. I simply need time to recharge. I simply need time to recuperate from all the stress. And for the longest time, I confused that for weakness because I felt like, oh, I'm being too lazy. Or maybe I was not working hard enough. People think that, oh, if you're not putting fire, putting energy, you're just lazy. I thought I wasn't disciplined. Perhaps I was not giving it enough. Maybe I was not passionate enough. The fire was not burning. Or maybe I was not creator material. I just if I think about this, it just makes me laugh because hmm, I remember how it started. So, a little backstory about me. I am Florabella, and you can call me Flora. So, I started podcasting in 2020, but I kept procrastinating for one reason or the other. Don't even ask me how. So, first of all, I was in the university when I started podcasting, or something in like my 200 level or so. And from there, I was like, oh, let me finish exam, I will start. And after exam, I was like, oh, let me graduate, I will start. After graduating, I was like, let me finish my job. So after I finished school, I started working with a non-governmental organization, and I kept feeling like, okay, the job was delaying me, so let me finish, let me get a chance to rest, blah blah blah. And then I said, okay, after NYC, I will go. I went for NYC, and then I was like, okay, let me get a job again, and I kept procrastinating, and I got a job. I got a job, and I kept procrastinating. And this whole thing went on and on. But I told myself, not again. I'm not going to continue this. It's been over 5 years. I'm not going to keep going back and forth and postponing what I wanted to do with myself, postponing them because I felt like I was not good enough. I felt like I was not ready. I needed a laptop. I needed a phone. I needed a tripod. I needed lights. There is always something you must need. One thing or the other is going to come out of it. Like it's never ending. So, yes, that's just a backstory about me. Now, one of the most biggest misconception people have about introverts is that they are shy people. Yes, of course, some introverts are shy, but that does not automatically mean that every introvert are socially awkward. I'm a shy person, but I'm not socially awkward. If I have to talk, I will talk. If I need to put an input into something, make meaningful impact, I will. It doesn't mean I hate people. It doesn't certainly mean that I'm not a good communicator. Obviously, you can tell that I'm a good orator and I can talk for hours. Do you know that some of the best speakers, teachers, writers, and even entertainers in the world are people who identify as introverts? Do you know that? So, what is the difference? Who is an introvert? Now, let me break it down. An introvert is someone who loses energy through prolonged social interaction. Like, I don't even necessarily mean physical energy alone. You notice I say lose energy. I did not say lose confidence. I did not say lose ability. I did not say lose your power or anything like that or your senses. I mean energy. Because you're an introvert doesn't make you an imbecile, right? You have a whole brain working for you, and there's a huge difference. Now, the thing is, an introvert, let me use myself as an example. I can stand in front of a camera and I can record for hours. I can host a podcast. I can go for shows. I can facilitate workshops. I can even speak to hundreds of people if I need to. I wish there's a record of my speaking during my NYC sensitization program. You could hear that. Oh, I was energetic. But afterwards, please don't call me. Please don't call me. Please don't even text me. I need quiet. I need time to rehabilitate. I need space. I need to hear my own thoughts again because that amount of time, oh, it takes a whole lot of energy. And if you're an introvert, listen to me right now. I'm sure you'll probably be smiling right now because we know ourselves. We can understand exactly, you can understand exactly what I mean, and you know how it feels because and and the funny thing is, it's funny how some people think that because you enjoy your own company, because you enjoy your own solitude, something must be wrong. People feel like if you're not always there, you are not active, you are not everywhere, you are not okay. I have lost count of how many times people will call me and say, "You need to go out more often," or "Are you okay? Is everything fine?" Everything is fine. I just need to rest. Or I went to an event one time like that. I went for a conference, and someone who was with me was like, "Are you okay? You don't sound like you're happy here. You don't, or saying things like, why are you too quiet? As though being reflective is a character flaw. I am perfectly fine. The truth is, as an introvert, people, it's not like we avoid people because we dislike them. We just avoid them because sometimes we just need our space. And it's a simple thing of the mind. You get exhausted quickly, not physically safe. If they ask you to come and carry block, you can still carry block. But the thing is, mentally you are exhausted and you need some time to rest, because we're constantly observing, we're constantly creating, we're constantly thinking, we're constantly reflecting. Do you get me? So even in rooms filled with people, like room full of people, we often notice details that others miss. You're there looking at this person. Oh, what did this person say? What did this person do? Oh, how can I apply this to my life? How can I make money? And believe it or not, that's the reason many introverted people make exceptional leaders, content creators, business owners, and so much more. But because we're narrowing down this topic to content creation, I want you to take note that this topic is not about content creation alone. It could be in regards to your business, your life, your career, anything. But because we're pushing this down to content creation, why does content creation feel very draining for introverts? Because for months I have thought about it. I genuinely love creating content. I genuinely love researching, writing my outlines, and preparing for my podcast content, planning episodes ahead of time, and even recording the episode. I have a whole lot of fun in my studio when recording my episode because I love helping people. But why do I constantly feel exhausted? Why do I constantly feel drained? Why do I constantly feel like I need a whole week of rest before I can start again? Because at first I thought that, okay, I should blame myself for it because I'm not active enough, I'm not productive enough, or I'm not passionate enough. I thought maybe I wasn't working hard enough. But then I realized something that changed the whole trajectory of my content creation. Content creation or creating content wasn't really the thing that was draining me. If I'm being honest, what was draining me actually was trying to create content in the way that other people was creating theirs, and that was performing. And there's a huge difference between these two, because creating is peaceful, but when you start performing, it start becoming exhausting. You hear one latest trending gist and you want to talk about that gist because Tunde Ednot and other popular celebrities are talking about it. And somewhere along the line, you miss the point. You miss the point of why you are even creating the content in the first place. You miss the fact that you actually just want to help people, people that think like you, people that act like you, people that want to grow like you are. Like I said from the beginning of this podcast is not a place for perfectionists. I have tried perfectionism, it did not work. So we're not doing that here. This is a place to grow, learn, build, and become better every single day while helping other people become better and improving one life at a time from your level. I will say that again, because the thing is, in as much as you're trying to be better for yourself, does not mean you cannot improve lives while you are there, because wherever low that you are right now, there's someone that is lower. Whether you like it or not, there is someone that is lower. So the point of this whole podcast um episode is not that we're trying to change you, we're trying to make you stop being introverts, or we're trying to make you learn how to be outgoing and all that. No, the point of this whole conversation is to help you learn how to create, whether in your business, in your content, in your career, in your lifestyle, and anything you're doing, is to help you create while trying to maintain who you are, your personality, not changing who you are because of societal trend, because of societal measurement of success, growth, and the rest. You feel like, oh, because everybody is doing this, I should go ahead and do it. If you notice, our contents are not really what is happening, what is trending. Sometimes it could be a little bit mm, out of the ordinary. Sometimes it could be something someone, talked about one or two times ago, but it is always relatable. And I hope that as my target audience, you all would, relate to it and enjoy it. And even if you don't relate to it, it's actually okay. It's normal. But I want you to send this to someone who relates to it well. So, if you've listened thus far and you're wondering or thinking, oh, Florabella, am I supposed to change who I am? Or now that I know that I'm an introvert, how do I actually change and do better or probably add more to what I am doing? I'm glad you asked. Okay. So the first stage is to understand that knowing yourself is just half of the journey, but actually putting action towards it is another half. So there are five shifts that I did that completely changed the way I created content and how it worked for me and just made me better while trying to build my brand as an introvert. Mind you, building a brand and a business empire as an introvert. Step one, I stopped managing my time and started managing my energy. While putting out to-do list is a good thing, I also monitored how much energy I have. One mistake I made in the beginning was doing or treating every day as the same. I would tell myself, oh, today I must film my content. Forgetting that even though I was active yesterday, that does not mean I will be active today. It doesn't, and my to-do list does not know whether I am mentally fresh or not. It does not know whether I am completely drained. It only knows that, oh, the to-do list is make sure you film today, and if I don't film today, I feel bad. I feel like, today was not productive. Today was not good enough. I did not do anything. I did not do this. I did not do that. That is like punishing yourself for something that you could not control. Now, as an introvert, the biggest resourcefulness isn't time, it is energy. I started paying more attention to my energy the moment I feel my calmest, the moment I feel naturally inclined to do things. So I noticed that most of my best time when I think the most is when my environment is quiet, when I am just awake. It doesn't matter if it's waking up in the morning, it doesn't matter if it's waking up in the afternoon, as long as I'm just awake. Like, even if I take a nap by 12 and I wake up by 2, as long as I just woke up, oh, I'm in my best shape. And honestly, I kind of noticed that even while I was in school, reading and assimilating things, I literally have to take a little bit of skimming into the work. I had to skim through the work and then sleep. By the time I wake up, my brain assimilates everything. So it's the same for me creating content, doing chores or doing things or working or even reading for my academic studies or writing my blog post on our Florrapedia website at www.florrapedia.com. Now, once I understood this, I stopped asking myself, when do I have time? I started asking myself, when do I have energy? And these two things are completely different. Now, my calendar is always going to be there. I will put my to do list, I'll set out what to do, but I'm going to state when I have energy to do them. So the next thing I do is I batch my content like a professional CEO that I am, because we're not doing things for this level. We're doing things for where we are going to. We're living like our future self. What would a CEO in 2035 or 2029 or something like that, what would they do? What would they do in that position? I create content in batches. So what I do is when I have energy, this content now that I'm shooting, this is like the fourth content I am shooting for the day. Whenever I have energy, I shoot the entire month content at a time. I might start from the top to the bottom or from the bottom to the top. It doesn't matter. As long as I know the topic I'm posting first, when I'm posting it, how I'm posting it, that's all that matters. So I maximize my energy well by shooting in batches so that Whenever I'm tired the next day, I will not have to start feeling like I did not achieve anything. I just spend the rest of my week editing, scheduling, and also writing blog articles and every other thing I need to do while having time to show up well at my job. So, you see, that way I can have a personal life, have a work life balance, and still show up for my own passion. And that makes everything more easier. So, this way, I am not overworking myself and I am also maximizing my time well while doing every other thing. So, this one habit changed a whole lot of things for me. Not because I suddenly became more productive, not because I suddenly became more professional, but because I stopped asking myself or asking my brain to switch into creator mode every single time and every single day. I know there are days I will not be up for it. And honestly, that's one thing I wish more introverted people know, more introverted creators, more introverted business owners. I wish people can understand that sometimes it's not about working hard. Sometimes it's about putting system in place to help. If you can even give out and give people to do it for you, that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful because sometimes it is very wrong for you to think that you can always push yourself over the limit and you expect your body not to break down. Your body will definitely break down. So, if you are going to spend your energy, you might as well spend it wisely. Okay? Now, the third thing I do is I build smart goals around my life. Now, I currently manage my personal life and home affairs, and I manage my podcast and content creation. I also manage my workload and every other thing while also taking courses. There was a point where I used to tell my friends if they're like, "Hey, how are you today?" I'm like, I'm fine, oh. Boys, like my to-do list is chasing after me, not me chasing my to-do list because what the hell. Now, if you're wondering, smart goals are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time bound. Now, the fourth thing I do, and this is probably the most important thing you can do for yourself as a person and as an introverted creator, is to spend less time consuming more content than creating. Now, there was a day I was talking to a friend and I was like, uh, he asked me a question. I was like, oh, I'll check it later, but I can't go on Instagram right now. And he's asking, oh, why can't you go on Instagram? And I told him plainly, I do have time that I spend on Instagram. And even on the Instagram app, there is a timer on it that you can literally pick when you want to go out of the this. If you've already started binge scrolling and doom scrolling and all those things, the timer would alert you that you spent 30 minutes, you spent 1 hour, and you go off. Now, he was saying, but you said you're creating content and you want other people to watch your content. Now, I am not saying I will not watch people's content. I am saying I am going to correct and monitor how long I watch other people's content. Because, in as much as seeing other people's content is important, for your own entertainment and for learning, because no man is an island of their own. You cannot grow if you don't learn from others, learn from their success, learn from their mistakes, and learn from the things that you probably think they should have done, but they did not do. So their omissions is very important. Also learn from their communities because there are some questions their communities are asking that they are not responding to that could be your powerful leverage to actually getting what you want. So I told him it's not like I will not watch from other people, but I'm going to correct how I watch or monitor how I watch from other people because it is better to consume less content and produce more than consume more and produce less. Because by the time you start watching other people, you start to feel like you're not doing enough. You will have one amazing content on your phone that you are about to post, but before you know it, you go in, you consume so much content that you start to second guess your own content. You start to second guess yourself and you start feeling like this one is not good enough. Oh, look at someone did something like this, and this one seemed better. This one is this one is that. You start to tell yourself a whole lot of things that will make you end up not posting that content, and that is a no no. We're not doing that in 2026, okay? So consume less and create more if you really want to grow as a creator in this field, okay? Now, the fifth thing, which is the last but not the least, is reflect. Don't just reflect weekly, don't just reflect monthly, don't reflect annually. Reflect as much as you can. For me, I do that every night. You journal down. If you are a returning subscriber over here, you would understand how much importance I place on journaling. I believe that a reflective mind is an active mind that understands how to grow. You learn, you relearn, you unlearn the things that are not working before. And you can only do that through deep self reflection, because if you are not going to think deeply, most people live life on autopilot. They tell you it's not that deep. It is that deep. Life is that deep. If you must achieve anything, if you must be better, if you must be successful, if you must grow, you need to take things very deeply. Your life is that deep. Your goals are that deep. Your career is that deep. So learn to reflect more than you actually just. You cannot give from an empty cup. You can't. I can go ahead to talk for hours without actually having a script to tell me what to do, because I reflect a lot. I think deeply. I am an overthinker in terms of my life and my goals. I think 5 years ahead before they happen. And I think this is one of the things that have helped me so far in my life, in my personal life, in my career, and even my relationship with others. So reflect more, and this will help you learn how to, you know, make yourself better. Don't just consume podcasts or contents on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, anywhere. Don't just consume. Learn how to reflect and use what you have to start. You will never be prepared. That's the thing I wish someone had told me. You will never be prepared. There is always one thing that will come out. There's always one biggest trend. There's always one biggest news. There's always one biggest things to get or buy. You will never be prepared. So start with what you have first, okay? And you will grow along the way. And that's why we're growing here one step at a time. So if you do enjoy this podcast episodes so far, wherever you're listening from our audio platform, from our video platform, because we are now on YouTube. For those that are listening to us for the first time on audio, yes, we are now on YouTube. And if you want to know the face behind the brand, just search for Florrapedia on YouTube. But those on our podcast platform, thank you so much for always returning. If you're a new subscriber, you know what to do. Please, it will only take you a minute. Just turn on the subscribe button and on your notification so that you get notified whenever we publish new and latest episodes, so you don't miss a thing. Because over here, we're going all personal, we're learning to grow and improve ourselves. So, thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Florrapedia podcast. And I really hope that today speaks to you directly, and if you're not an introvert, it's okay. You can pick one or two that are useful to you, or send it to that person you think needs to hear this, because it will go a long way to improving one life at a time. Let the change you seek start from you, okay? Now, thank you for listening. I hope to see you on our next episode again. Same time, same place. Until next time, catch ya. Bye.